comments. There's some good things out of the EDA. The fact is they're all self-reported. There's no data. There's no metrics. Anytime you send money to the state of Oklahoma, I guarantee you the people who are going to get the money are going to like it. But there isn't one metric, one set of metrics that measures the effectiveness of the money that's been spent through EDA in terms of job creation. Fully 1/3 of the dollars don't get through to completion over the history of the program. You know, the very idea that we would defend, the bureaucracy didn't help us on 9/11 because they were stovepiped, they wouldn't communicate. The bureaucracy failed to ensure the safety of the levees in New Orleans, this same bureaucracy that doesn't need to be controlled. The bureaucracy didn't protect us from financial crisis in 2008 because we didn't do the oversight. The bureaucracy didn't protect the Gulf from the Deepwater Horizon. We had a bureaucracy that was supposed to be in charge of that, but they didn't do it. The point is, and the SBIR, you had my full support on SBIR. You know that, Senator Landrieu. You had my support on that because that's one of the proven programs inside the SBA administration that actually has metrics on it that works. So the debate is whether or not we hold back the regulatory framework. You know, I find it really ironic. You agree with us in principle, but aren't going to vote with us on this amendment because it didn't go through a committee. It is amazing. I'm going to finish my points and then I'll leave the floor because I have something else I have to do. It is amazing the negative effects that we all are hearing from all across the country, every state, every senator's hearing how regulation is drowning out opportunity for investment to create jobs in this country. Every program has some positive aspects to it. The question isn't whether they have positive aspects, it's what's our priority now that we're bankrupt? Where should we be spending the money to where we get the most bang for the buck? And how do we pull back the regulatory framework so that it's common sense oriented rather than bureaucratic oriented? And that's what Senator Snow's trying to do. And to give some type of power to the very people that are being regulated. Because we certainly won't do the oversight. We haven't done the oversight. You know, it's really interesting when the GAO put out this last report on duplication. You're right, they didn't say in these particular programs, but I put out a report 9 months before that that detailed the duplication in these programs, and it was published. So you can find. The point is we're strangling business and job development, small and medium. The big guys can take all this regulation. They're already staffed up. The small businesses can't. The medium-sized businesses can't. We have to give them a way to force common sense on the bureaucracy. And that's all this does. And to not, everybody hears it from all of their constituents, is that the regulation is killing business formation and job creation. Why would we not want to put some balance? I don't understand it. And the real problem with the regulatory agencies is us, because we won't oversight them. Just like there was no oversight hearing on the EDA. Nobody ever asked the question, where are the metrics? We have all this anecdotal evidence how great it is when we give money to the states, that they can do things. But where's the numbers that show the job creation for every $1,000 that gets spent? There's a self-reported, but there's nothing that looks at it to say, here statistically is the way. And if EDA is the best way to create jobs in this country, I'm all for it. But I want to see some data that says that right now. You know, we have job training programs, 47 of them in this country. We spend $18 billion on them a year. We have 104 science, technology, engineering, and math programs across 9 different agencies. We're spending $16 billion on a year. We have no data on either of those programs anywhere, but we got it out there. We have no idea what we're doing because we won't ask the hard questions and we won't study it. Nobody would have 104 science, technology, engineering, math programs. We have 64 programs. 20-some of them are outside the Department of Education to improve teacher training quality. I mean, the reason we're in trouble is because we haven't done our job on oversight. So you can claim anecdotal evidence of something's good, but you ought to know that when we spend $1,000 we don't have today of American people's money because we're borrowing it from China, we ought to be dang certain that that's actually going to create something, because our kids are paying the bill. The next generation is going to pay the bill, and they're going to pay that bill through a markedly lowered standard of living. With that, I yield the floor.
Mr.
Senator from
President,
Maine.
yes. How much time is remaining on the Republican side?
13 minutes.
13.